You're sitting in a room that looks exactly like a standard medical clinic. Doctor hands you a glass of water. You drink it. Suddenly, the air catches in your throat. The room goes completely still. And within 20 minutes, you are gone. Behind a two-way mirror, a scientist clicks a stopwatch, coldly recording how long it took your system to completely give out. This wasn't a nightmare cooked up in an internet forum. This was Laboratory 12. And the real Soviet files, much harder to hide than any creepypasta. You know the legend? Gas chamber, 1974. Prisoners drove to feral madness, tearing themselves apart rather than sleep. It is completely 100% fake. But the reason the world believed it so easily? Because the real declassified history of the Soviet regime wasn't an internet fable. It was a state-sanctioned production line of death. And what they did to human guinea pigs makes a fictional gas chamber look like a bedtime story. Welcome to Laboratory 12. In the heart of Moscow, hidden away from international intelligence, sat a real-world nightmare. The Soviet secret police operated a highly classified facility known simply as Laboratory 12. Its director wasn't a fictional mad scientist. His name was Grigory Mairanovsky, a brilliant cold-blooded chemist working under the direct command of the terrifying secret police chief, Lavrentiy Beria. Mairanovsky's mission wasn't to eliminate sleep. It was far more insidious. He was tasked with creating the ultimate weapon for political elimination, a tasteless, odorless, completely undetectable formulation that would leave a victim looking like they had succumbed to a natural heart attack. But you can't test an undetectable compound on rats. You need human anatomy. So they brought in the people that the regime deemed expendable. Political prisoners, suspected spies, anyone pulled from the gulags who was marked for erasure. They were brought into that fake clinic room, given what they thought was a routine meal, a glass of water, or a dose of medicine. On the other side of the wall, Mairanovsky stood with his stopwatch, watching the human clock ticking down. They tested everything: volatile chemical cocktails, altered gases, and hidden derivatives. The scientists watched through the glass as the unsuspecting subjects gasped for air, clutched their chests, and suffered immediate physical collapse. Mairanovsky recorded every agonizing breath and how the physical composure of the body altered over its final moments. They even experimented with changing the physical state of the room, altering the air pressure, dropping the room temperature, spiking the humidity, to see how fast the human body would absorb the compounds under extreme duress. The goal wasn't just termination, it was total erasure of the evidence. And they succeeded. They developed a compound called C2, according to testimonies that surfaced decades later. C2 would weaken the victim, alter their physical state, and end life in moments, leaving absolute zero trace for an examiner to find. The victims of Laboratory 12 didn't turn into feral, hollow monsters like the internet urban legends claim. They were completely defenseless, stripped of their names and utilised as organic testing equipment before being buried in unmarked graves. The Russian sleep experiment is a myth, a campfire story born in the age of the internet. But the reason it took root in our collective mind is because we instinctively know what humanity is capable of when it's hidden away in the dark. The real horror didn't happen in a fictional Russian gas chamber. It happened in the quiet, sterile, bureaucratic rooms of Laboratory 12. Sometimes the internet law is just a shadow cast by the much darker truth. But the Soviets weren't the only ones weaponizing the shadows of history. If you think the secrets buried behind the Iron Curtain are twisted, wait till you see what's happening in the hidden, blood-soaked testing ground of the Far East. Click right here to step into the dark with me on the next chapter. This is Hairy History. See you in the shadows.